Kyle here, back again. It's Saturday. That means weekly purchases, the time of the week where we find out what the UPS guy, the DHL guy, the Amazon guy, what I found out in stores. It's weekly purchases where we take a look at all the big purchases of the week. In the back half of the video, of course, another fire crazy big week for me this week. I didn't think it was going to be that big, but then I hit the Jakks Ruthless Aggression jackpot. Found some key pieces, and we'll get to all that in the back half of the video. As you guys probably know, the video is up a little bit late today. The reason for that is Hasbro Con, Friday, Saturday of this week. All the new reveals from all of our favorite toy brands. We're going to take a look at those this week, but we're also going to take a look at some of the things that were announced pre that. There was quite a bit of news of some new figures this week and some exciting stuff. So let's start with that. Then we'll get into the Hasbro Con. We'll talk about all of it. It's going to be a long video with the weekly purchases on the back end, but it should be a very good video, I think. I think a lot of you guys will enjoy that out here. So let's jump in. Let's talk about what was released this week. And the first thing I remember seeing this week, we saw on-card images of the new He-Man Masters of the Universe set. These will be at Target, Walmart's, all those usual stops, Amazon, you name it. But we saw Merman, and note, I got an iPad this week I'm going to use for my video. Usually I do it just basically off the top of my head. This week there's so many reveals, I don't want to miss anything. Got my handy-dandy iPad here to look after and talk of. It's just, there's that much stuff this week. But Merman, Zodak, Roboto, and She-Ra. Never owned She-Ra in my life, so this will be the first time I ever bought a She-Ra figure. I understand why she's in the line. She's in there pretty earlier compared to the old set, but we saw those come through this week. We also saw images, carded images, boxed images, which means it's imminent. This will be the next round of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at Target, the cartoon figures, of course, from NECA, and we're talking the Roadkill Rodney Triceraton Infantryman 2-pack. This is an exciting 2-pack. It's an army building 2-pack, and congratulations to NECA. They're really doing us a solid here, putting two army builders in a pack together, and then that will force us to, well, not force anybody, but people like me, I'll buy 2 or 3 of these 2-packs to build my army of Roadkill Rodneys and the Triceraton to go with those as those start coming out in future releases. So bravo NECA, they keep continuing to kill it with the cartoon line. It's a very exciting line, and no, there's turtle anxiety. I patented that phrase. I deal with it all the time. Right now, we're looking for the current 2-pack of Trag and Granitor. Trying to find that one. I do think that those will hit the stores, at least in the Midwest, this week. We'll see how that goes. I will actually be traveling to Kansas City this week, midweek, so maybe I'll get lucky down that way. This week, hopefully you guys watch my figure hunting video and all the videos I put out this week of the unboxings, bobbleheads, Marvel Legends, the Jakks video. You name it, but if you watched my figure hunting video, a lot of good stuff out in the stores right now. You'll see some of that stuff in weekly purchases. I also traveled to Northeast Iowa and hit some stops along the way, some stores I had never been to or hadn't been to in many years. So just a little plug for some of the other videos on the channel. But we did see those Turtle 2-packs for Target, but then we were announced a first one. It was kind of a surprise out of the blue. We saw first images, and it sounds like they're going to be GameStop exclusive, from Marvel, 3 3/4 size figures. Basically going back to the old Kenner wave. You know, Hasbro bought Kenner so they can use the Kenner name. Very similar to the Secret War style figures, if you guys remember those from the mid-'80s. Those were actually some of my first superhero figures I ever had. I had Captain America, Dr. Doom, I had Spider-Man, a few others. But they announced they're going to have Cyclops and Iron Man, Electro, Spider-Man, and a few others. Cool, I guess. Not for me. Judge Gary Busey, he made his ruling right away and said, nope, you're not getting those. You're not a 3 3/4 collector anymore. So you're not picking those up, Kyle. And that's exactly what. I'm going to save my money. They look cool. You know, the carding is really cool. They're going to come unpunched, which, you know, I love. I love unpunched figures. But just not for me. That's just not what I'm looking for in this day and age of my collection. I don't have room for that or a place where those would go. So it's a nice, easy pass for me, but I'm sure there's people out there that are excited for those. If you're one of those people, let me know if you're excited for those. They're very interesting. So that was announced this week. And then we also got pictures, and this comes into Hasbro Con a little bit. I'm very excited about this because I did pass on the Heroes of Endor exclusive off Hasbro Pulse. I molded around. But they announced and they showed pictures, and apparently they're even hitting stores. Not in my area yet, but probably pretty soon. But the Heroes of Endor, the Han, the Leia, and the Luke that's in that Heroes of Endor pack, they're getting single card releases in the traditional Black Series. I'll pick them up there all together. That's the way I want to do it. We also got a Clone Trooper, the Hoth Soldier, the figure that never dies. They're going to release that thing every single way they possibly can. They're going to release that again. And then Cade Bane from the Clone Wars. So that's going to be, it sounds like, an upcoming Star Wars set that should be hitting stores any time right now. Very similar to that Deadpool, Monster Deadpool wave from Marvel Legends. A lot of reports that that is hitting stores right now. So there's some good stuff to be on the lookout for in stores the next couple of weeks. So a lot of excitement for store hunting again. It's been a little bit of a lull the last few weeks, but it's ramping all back up. So there you go. So, burning through this as fast as I can, but then we get to Hasbro Con. So, as many of you guys know, I molded around, I talked about it the last few weeks of videos. You could pay $50 to Hasbro, and it gave you credentials so you could get these exclusives a day before everybody else. Some of the other things to be announced, I guess, are there, but the other one is free shipping. If you order from Hasbro, you'll get free shipping on everything for the year. I don't order a lot from Hasbro Pulse. A lot of the times they're kind of left over. They get them after Amazon or the stores, so it's not a go-to for me. However, they're going to have more exclusives, they say. Everything you ordered on there got free shipping. I was on the fence about it, but Tuesday, mid-afternoon, I pulled the trigger. I paid the $50, and boy, you know what? I'm glad I did. It seems kind of a crazy thing. Paying $50 for a chance to get pre-orders, that just seems, there's something wrong with that. However, I got in there on Wednesday morning, 11 a.m., and then my buddy messaged me right before we went live and said, hey, are you going to just check out each one, or are you going to add to your cart and then check out all at once? And I hadn't even thought of that, so it put even more anxiety into the system, because you guys know how these online orders go. You try to get one in your cart, and if you don't check out right away, you probably miss it. And let alone putting 4 or 5 items in your cart and then trying to check out, that's a disaster. So I didn't know what to do. The anxiety was real. I had my iPhone, I had my iPad, I had my laptop computer. I had 3 devices all working just in case. But you know what? It was a breeze. Got right in. I got my Logan Professor X 2-pack. I got my Hellfire Club box set. I got my Cobra Commander. And then I got the Power Ranger exclusive. All with ease. Put them all in my cart. Checked out. Shocked how easy it actually was. I was very pleased with the whole experience. I would strongly recommend it to everybody else to do that next time. Actually, just a few of the items actually sold out for the pre-order. Even that night, you could order a few of the items still via pre-order. So it was a really good experience. But then that brings us to Wednesday. That was when the online sale went up for everybody. And yesterday, the day before, it was limited 1 per person. Well, the only thing I wanted more than 1 of was Cobra Commander. I need an in-box and I need a loose Cobra Commander. So I was sweating it a little bit, because I know how those days go. When it's free-for-all for everybody, that is when the bots jump in. The bots come in and they take everything from us. And that's what I expected to happen. And I think it did a little bit. I tried to get in right at 11, had my 3 devices going, and I had the spinning wheel of death. Trying to get my credit card information through. It was just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. I waited 45 minutes on 3 devices as it was spinning on that Cobra Commander. I was about ready to give up, and then all of a sudden my laptop went through. Congratulations, your order went through. Turned off the other 2 devices, and did a little dance right there at my desk, and applauded right from there. So, very successful exclusives. I got everything I needed. I'm very excited. Money well spent, like I said, that $50, it ended up being worth it. I'm going to do it again next year if they have it. Just the ease of not having the anxiety of trying to get everything really was worth that $50 for me. To know I could just click on, get it, be done with it. Plus, I get free shipping on all the things I order for a full year. And that's going to pay off dividends, and we'll get to that a little bit more as we go through some of these new things. It's already paying dividends. I think my shipping account has already been paid for. So let's look at the Day 1 reveals for Hasbro. All right, Hasbro Con Day 1 was on YouTube, live streamed on YouTube for everybody to check out. I'm sure the videos are up there if you want to go back and take a look at what you missed. But they started the day off with Dungeons & Dragons figure talk and stuff, and I didn't watch any of that. Don't know anything about that, don't collect that, so I didn't have time to even watch it. I got in a little late to the Star Wars video as I was supposed to be on vacation, But just like every vacation, a crisis comes up. I have to take care of it, get on a couple of conference calls. Took care of those, so I got to the Star Wars videos a little late, but I watched it through the Star Wars into the Marvel Legends, which was the most exciting part of the day for me, that's for sure. But Star Wars did have a few things that were really interesting. Interesting because you guys know about me and Star Wars. It's a love-hate thing. I love Star Wars figures. I've collected Star Wars figures my whole life, but I just hate all the repaints. You know, how many Darth Vaders do I need? How many Lukes do I need? But I get it, though, because you need a Darth Vader on the shelves every year and a half for the people that are getting into things and the young kids and stuff like that. So I don't hate it, but it's nice for me to be able to pass and pick and choose, where I'm more a completist with some of the other lines. But I pick and choose on my Star Wars, like you guys know. But they did announce some of the archive vintage collection for the 6-inch Black Series line. Grand Admiral Thrawn is getting re-released. That's one that's good for me. I was playing the long game on that one, never picked it up. Now it's a pretty expensive figure. Hey, I can get that thing right off the shelves now, so that's great for me. Same thing, Clone Commander Cody. Back then I said, I'm not getting these clone guys. Well, now I can get this. I didn't have them before, and I know those upset some longtime collectors that are, you know, have a lot of money in that because, hey, the aftermarket prices are great on it. Well, Hasbro wants to sell you those figures. They don't want the aftermarket and the secondary sellers making all that money. If there's a need and a want from the public out there, they're going to put it out and make their money, which anybody would do if you're in their shoes. So those are coming. We're also getting the Hoth Luke and Han Solo again. I have both of those, so that's great. I can save money not picking those two up. So that's a great win for me. I'm happy whenever I get a pass on a figure every once in a while. It's nice to get a break because there's so many things coming out from all different lines. You guys see it in the weekly purchases every week. It's crazy. But, so that's coming out. They also announced the long-rumored Jar Jar Binks figure. It's time for Jar Jar to get a Black Series figure. I haven't read any comments or anything, but there's probably some people that hate it, but I bet you the majority are okay with it. Enough time has passed. We've all forgiven Jar Jar and his sins. It's time to move on, and we'll move on with a Black Series figure of Jar Jar. Are we going to have 1,000 Jar Jar figures? No, we're not, but this one will do. That's a definite pickup for me. And then they also announced a new Bubba Fett. I don't think we've had Bubba Fett figure in maybe 10 years, or maybe it was 10 days. I can't remember. Bubba Fett, I wonder if there's ever a figure from a movie that had such little screen time but gotten so many figures. I mean, he has to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. He was in the movie for, 3 minutes total and has had a figure about every single year since. Good for him. Cool character. I loved him as a kid, too. It's funny how we attach ourselves to characters like that are barely on the screen, but just the mystery and all that. Now on to the Mandalorian. It's just crazy, and it all started with Bubba Fett Mania. We're getting another Bubba Fett with some cool effects. I'll probably pick this one up. Whatever. It is what it is, but it's another Bubba Fett if you need one, or for some of you guys, you can probably skip it. So that's always cool. And then we also got a new Mandalorian figure, a deluxe one. That'll be an interesting one. I think I'm all in on the Mandalorian sets. I think I'm going to get every single Mandalorian figure. It's a new series. I do enjoy the show. I can't wait for season 2. So that, that speaks to me. I'm going to collect the Mandalorian, and I'm going to buy all the figures. So we got another Mandalorian figure coming. We also saw the new Back to HasLab project, the Vintage Collection Razor Crest. So when they first said this, I said, wait, what's the Razor Crest? I couldn't even remember. They have so many vehicles and stuff, but it's the Mandalorian's ship. So they're going to have that, but it's a $350 price point, very similar to that Sentinel. I think they need 6,000 backers by the 1st of November. We'll see. I would love to know in the comments if you're going to back that one. I'm not. I have no need for a big Star Wars vehicle. So I know some of you guys, though, got to be backing that out there. Somebody's doing it. They're going to pass the 6,000. I think Star Wars is always a shoe-in. There's so many Star Wars fans. It's such a popular line. It was the first Hasbro Con items. That Heroes of Endor was the first ones to sell out. Star Wars is popular. Whether or not you want to admit it, I want to admit it or not, it's probably the most popular toy line out there. I mean, there's a lot of good toy lines out there, but Star Wars fans are another level. They're very passionate about their figures. That is for sure. So there's that. But we also, I forgot to mention it earlier in the episode, but we did get on Monday a Mandalorian Monday announcement. And they announced a re-release of kind of the vintage card back from the art from the TV show from The Mandalorian. We're getting Cara Dune. We're getting IG-11. We're getting the Mandalorian. We're getting the heavy-duty Mandalorian, which I just unboxed this week on the channel. We're getting that again. That's going to be a Best Buy exclusive. Cara Dune's going to be a Target exclusive. There's going to be a Death Trooper, which that's probably the only one I'll pick up. Maybe I'll pick up the traditional Mandalorian. I don't need all these repaints. I didn't pick up the Death Trooper before, so maybe I'll grab this one. But a lot of Star Wars news and a lot of repaints and a lot of re-releases, which isn't inherently bad. It's good for my wallet in this instance. But, you know, the Cara Dune, like, I already got her, and it's not that much different. I don't need two of them this soon. It's just, I don't. But I know there's people out there that do. I mean, if it was wrestling figure or maybe a Marvel Legends or something like that, I'd be all in too. But I'm going to save my money with the Star Wars. You got to pick and choose. You can't buy everything. So there you go. So that's a little of the Star Wars update. The last thing they really updated with, and it kind of leaves me scratching my head. I don't know what to think about this. It's I don't know if it's a misstep or it's genius. You guys tell me in the comments. But they're releasing 5 Christmas-themed Black Series Star Wars figures. You got the Range Trooper dressed kind of like Santa. You got Snow Troopers, very strange. So you got like a Stormtrooper dressed all in green for the holidays with accessories like candy canes and, you know, scarves and stuff like that. I don't know. It's Target, Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart exclusives. GameStop's getting one. It seems like every retailer is getting one, so you can build the collection of 5. I don't know. I just don't know how these will sell. I mean, diehard Star Wars fans, I could see buying this and putting it in like their Star Wars decorations for the holidays. Maybe that's something. I think this, as of right now, it's a pass for me. Maybe it'll change when I see him in person. It just seems like a stretch. I don't know, and it also seems kind of like a cash grab. At the same time, I think it's kind of cool. It's giving a new spin on something. Every house, you know, that celebrates Christmas has Christmas decorations for the most part. So I could see this kind of working. Right now, my head says I'm a total pass on these. However, after Christmas, if they're still around, they go on super duper clearance. Maybe I'll jump in and I'll pick some of these up. I don't know. It's a weird deal, but cool. I guess it's outside the box thinking. It's simple repaints, getting people to buy the same figures again with a couple of extra accessories. So it's cool at one thing, and then it's really weird another thing, and it's a cash grab on one thing. It's just a lot of mixed emotions with this. So I'd love to know what you think about these Christmas-themed ones. Are you all in? Are you going to pick those up? Very, very interesting. So that's it. That is the Star Wars. That's a lot of Star Wars announcements, but that holds nothing to the Marvel Legends announcements. All right, after the Star Wars panel was done, it was time to discuss Marvel Legends. You know, right now could be the figure line of the year for me. That Spider-Man Retro Wave I unboxed a few weeks ago, that very well could be the set of the year of any figures. Marvel's Legends is hitting on all cylinders right now, and they're looking to continue that momentum. And they even announced some stuff that we're going to see this year. Talked about that Monster Venom wave that's hitting right now. Well, they're right alongside it is going to be a new Gamerverse Avengers wave. That first Avengers Gamerverse wave was okay, not the best. There's some deep cuts in there, and then a lot of gamer figures. Probably my least favorite set of the year, but now they just announced, hey, Gamerverse Wave Series 2. So when they announced that, I said, I had a little groan from my chair where I said, is this what I want? I don't know if that's going to be for me. However, they really turned that thing around. It's actually kind of a heavy hitter lineup. The first thing that really spoke to me big time was Mr. Fix-It, Incredible Hulk in a suit, using some of the Kingpin parts, it sounds like, but maybe a little bit slimmer. I love the Toy Biz Mr. Fix-It I had back as a kid, but he's going to be green instead of gray, but apparently it's Gamerverse modeled. Take that for what it is, but that is going to be the Build-A-Figure. You guys know I love big figures. I love Build-A-Figures. I think it's the greatest concept. I wish more figure lines would do that. We're also getting a couple of deep cut characters. We're getting Thunderstrike in there. And then we got another Iron Man from the Gamerverse game. We got a Captain America, another one from the Gamerverse game. This one's all in black, almost like a U.S. agent, but not. A stealth suit Captain America. I could see a lot of people using that as a crossover for a G.I. Joe figure. Same scale, same company making them. I could see that being an army builder. You put different heads on that cap. There's your army builder for your G.I. Joes. It was a really cool figure, I thought. So they got that. Then they've got one of the most wanted. A lot of people, including myself, has wanted this for a long time. A classic Falcon figure. We're finally getting that classic Falcon. They really danced around it on the video because it is somewhat of a reuse. Most of it is a reuse from the Vulture figure we got from the Spider-Man wave early in the year. But it's cool. Whatever works. We're getting that Falcon. So I'm very happy to get that one. We're also getting Kang, Marvel's Kang. That came out in the Hasbro line. That was back before I was buying these. That's a deep cut villain, but I'm okay with that. I think that's a good villain. We need more villains. I'll take him in the line, that's for sure. Talked about Thunderstrike. I'm excited about that one. One I don't remember hearing. I knew Ultron had like a girlfriend, but I don't remember anything about it at all. Jocasta is her name. I don't know. She's coming with the torso for the Hulk, Mr. Fix-It figure. It looks almost like a direct Silver Sable repaint with a different head. There's some new tooling in that, I believe, but that's what's coming out. They also announced Walgreens EB Games Silver Surfer from Thanos Wins comic book. I'm not familiar with that line. It's basically a black-washed Silver Surfer, a very black instead of silver Silver Surfer. And he's got a nice purple or pink effect and Thor's hammer as well. So it is what it is. It's a Walgreens exclusive. I think they said it was going to be out fall of 2021, so that means a year away. I don't know if they misspoke or what, but that Silver Surfer's coming down the way very soon. We also saw a Deluxe Thanos, very similar to the Age of Apocalypse, that deluxe packaging, Apocalypse figure, the War Machine. They're going to do that for Thanos. To me, that looks a lot like the Thanos that we've already had from the Build-A-Figure line. It didn't seem that much different besides the Infinity Gauntlet. It's funny, it's based on the Infinity Gauntlet, which is celebrating 30 years in 2021. I distinctively remember going to my local comic book shop, riding my bicycle down there, and buying every issue of the Infinity Gauntlet. I was all in comic books at that time. So that's cool. If they're going to make more Infinity Gauntlet figures, I am all for that, because I did love that storyline as a 10, 11-year-old kid. Ride my bike, like I said, to the comic book shop to get that. So that's cool. They also announced Firestar. Long time people have been wanting Firestar for a long time, going back to that 70s Spider-Man cartoon, and that's what we're getting, kind of the 70s version of Firestar. That's going to be coming down in a future Spider-Man wave that wasn't announced. So we're getting Firestar. They also announced, this is going to excite a lot of people, they're finally going to, the retro card back. We've had Beast and we've had Storm. They're continuing that set. They're going to put Gambit and Rogue. A lot of people have been screaming for Rogue for a long time. The aftermarket on that one is through the roof. Hasbro, like I said earlier, they went back and said, hey, why are people paying all this aftermarket money? We need to release a new Rogue. So it's very similar to the old one, except it's got a totally different head, some new hands. But that's going to make so many people happy. It's probably going to kill the value of that other one from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave. So that's just the way it goes. If there's money to be made, these companies will re-release something, and they're showing it right there with that Rogue. We're also getting the Gambit. Very similar Gambit to what we had before with a new head scan. And I think this new head scan, head sculpt is a lot better than the previous Gambit. So I'm happy about that one. Really cool with that. We're also getting an arcade back in the traditional. They're going to do a line of villains, I guess. So it's all bad guys, which is cool. We need more bad guys. I said it earlier. Keep the bad guys coming. We're going to get an X-Men villain arcade by himself. We're also getting Doctor Strange villain Demure. I can never pronounce it. We had him in a Build-A-Figure Doctor Strange wave way back a few years ago. This is the more cartoon, smaller version. That's going to be coming down the line. So some cool one-offs and kind of the fan channel exclusives that we're going to expect here. And then we also saw the House of M figures, and that's another newer comic book line I'm not super familiar with. We're going to get Moira McTaggart, her first figure. So they hinted to having like multiple ones, or maybe a Build-A-Figure or something along them lines. So there's going to be more to that to come. We're also getting Magneto. We're getting Professor X in that line. Like I said, I don't know the comic book. I've seen the characters before. I don't know if famous is the right word, but they've been making the rounds, so I was familiar with the artwork of them. I'm just not familiar with the story, so I'll have to read up before those figures come. They did not necessarily announce who the Build-A-Figure was going to be in that wave, so we'll see. But there was no talk of Age of Apocalypse. So that's Series 2. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. As much as I was a fan and others were a fan, I just don't think enough people were a fan of that line, unfortunately. So it is what it is. No Age of Apocalypse from the sounds of things. And then they talked about an upcoming Spider-Man line. And it sounded like it was coming maybe first of the year. But it was going to be Into the Spider-Verse themed. A lot of people love that cartoon movie. I did watch it with my kids. My kids have watched it many a times. They absolutely love it. It was okay for what it was. But we're going to get the Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales. We're getting those figures. We're also getting the Hand Ninja, another army builder. This one could even go into your G.I. Joe collection. As we all know about the red ninjas from G.I. Joe, that could fit in perfectly with that. But that's coming. We're also getting a very interesting character here, a deep cut villain, Stilt Man. And the Hand Ninja is going to come with the legs, which is ingenious. They talked about it on the show for a little bit, was people are going to army build that ninja. You're going to get extra legs for the Stilt Man. You can build him as tall as you want. You can build him as tall as the ceiling. I think they showed like one that they made that was 5'9", so it technically will be the biggest Build-A-Figure ever. Use your imagination, make it as big as you want. So I thought that was really ingenious. Great of them to put the extra legs in with the army builder because, hey, you need multiple ninjas, or you don't feel bad about buying multiple ninjas. Like if it was with Miles Morales, you'd hate having 5 Miles Moraleses just to make a Stilt Man. So kudos to Marvel Legends, thinking of the fans first, not just thinking with money, thinking about what the fans would like and what makes the most sense, and they did that. They're also going to announce the rest of the wave, hopefully soon. They just didn't do it today. But a very strong one. I'm anxious to get that Stilt Man. I think that is a really cool idea and a cool concept. And then they officially announced, we talked about it on weekly purchases like a month ago, as the UK was already having these for sale, but the Hellfire Club Henchmen to go along with the Hellfire Club box set from the exclusive this week. The Henchmen are going to be Army Builder bought, $14.99 on Hasbro Pulse. I went in there, I have my free shipping, so I ordered 6 of those guys, ordered 6 of them to build my Hellfire Army right there, but I ordered them, and they're shipping, I think, 10/1 they said, so ordered 6 of those. I thought that was a great idea. I'm very happy to have more Army Builders. I love Army building, especially the way Hasbro is doing it with the Army Builder special packaging you can get from Hasbro Pulse. You're not paying $20, you're paying $15, and then you get the free shipping like I was talking about. So a lot of good stuff from Hasbro Con Day One, which leads us into Day 2. All right, Day 2 started off with my most anticipated portion of Hasbro Con with G.I. Joe. You guys know my love for the Joes, so I was very, very excited to find out what we were in store for. And it was some good, some bad, and maybe some ugly. We'll see, but let's talk about it. First things first, G.I. Joe Classified Series. Today was the day of Cobra, as they announced all new Cobra figures. The first one they came at us with was Zartan. Longtime Joe fans know Zartan, the leader of the Dreadnoks. One of my personal favorites, and one of the first G.I. Joes I really remember getting as a kid. We're getting him in the classified line, so I'm very excited to get Zartan. Probably one of my most wanted figures. I want all the Dreadnoks, but obviously you can't have the Dreadnoks if you don't have Zartan the leader. So we announced that, and then they announced Firefly. Very interesting on the Firefly. Not sure what to think about that one. I love Firefly, but I just don't like that football-type vest and groin protector thing he's got going on. Something's a little crazy there. So that's Firefly, and then they also announced Cobra Viper, another army builder, one we need. Very awesome looking figure. I love the scarf and the extra goggles on the top. Just a slam dunk. All these Joes are slam dunks for the most part. Love, love, love that Viper. But the bad, Cobra Island exclusives for Target continue. A lot of us know about the Cobra Island anxiety that's sweeping the nation as we speak right now with Baroness and the Cobra Trooper. Well, now you got Firefly to add to that mix, and then you got the the regular Cobra Viper. My guess is that Cobra Viper is going to be just as crazy as that Cobra Trooper was. There's going to be people flipping out, people buying, 5, 6 at a time, army building. Hopefully more are made this go around. Hopefully they learned their lesson from Series 1, and Series 2 is much easier. I expect Firefly to be very similar to Beachhead. You can find him every once in a while, but not regularly. So it's going to be really tough with these exclusives. I know a lot of us hate exclusives, but there's a reason for them. And it's not just toys that get the exclusive. There's food items. There's many more. Maybe one day I'll do a video about that if somebody wants to talk about it or wants me to talk about it, because I've been a part of many, many exclusives in my own line of work that I do for a living. With Walmarts, Targets, and regional retailers. So it's something we could talk about at a different time. They're not going away. They serve a purpose. Everybody outside of the fans love exclusives. So there you go, Cobra Island. They also announced the Cobra Trooper being re-released. Just a few little differences, enough to make, I guess, people happy that got the Cobra Island one. But basically the same exact figure. But it's going to get a wide release. It's going to be at Target, Walmart, Amazon, all your online retailers, etc. So that's going to take a lot of anxiety away from people. So I'm okay with that. I want some more Cobra Troopers myself. Now you got this Viper to turn our attention to. That's going to be a Target exclusive. Is what it is. But they only announced 4 figures today. And like I said, they were all bad guys. Cobra related. No G.I. Joe announcements. So we'll see where those go. They kind of made it sound like that Zartan and the Cobra Trooper would be out this year. A little later this year. But you would think there would be some more figures with that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. They did announce today on Saturday at 4 o'clock Central, 5 Eastern, that the original Snake Eyes, figure 00, the original exclusive Snake Eyes, they have more of those. They will be going up for pre-order on the Hasbro Pulse website today, as will Zartan and the Cobra Trooper. So you know at 4 o'clock today, I'm after those. I already have that Snake Eyes. I have it mint in the box, but I feel like I better just get one now to open up. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's really cool. They're getting another shot at that. I feel bad for some of those people that paid a fortune on eBay, but I do expect this to still be fairly tough to get on the Hasbro Pulse website later this afternoon. Then with G.I. Joe, they also announced the retro 3 3/4 scale. You know, the traditional, when most people think G.I. Joe, the smaller figures. That wave is obviously continuing. Walmart exclusive once again. But they announced what we already talked about last week in weekly purchases, that Series 2, the Roadblock, the Destro, and the Scarlet. Those have already had reports out at stores. So they talked about those. I guess they officially announced those for everybody. And then the other big one was they announced the Cobra Fang vehicle. So that was news for the day, I guess, that nobody really knew about. I'm not sure on those. They're going out for pre-order today on Walmart later on. Just like the Cobra Island stuff will be a pre-order sometime today on Target.com. Not really sure what to think about that 3 3/4 line. I did pick up the last 3 just because I stumbled upon them in store. And when you see those things, you're like, oh, I better get it. It'll probably be the same with those. I just don't know about the vehicles. I just don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't really have room for a bunch of boxes of vehicles if this line continues. We'll see. But I'm very excited about these G.I. Joe reveals, as you guys know. I'm going to hopefully get lucky on Hasbro Pulse and Target this afternoon, getting some pre-orders in. If not, I'll be out hunting them in the stores like I always do. You guys know I need 2 of each. So I'm all in. I'm all after it. I'm going to do my best to get all those G.I. Joe figures. Later today, I'm doing this video before as I got some stuff to do tonight, but they're going to talk Ghostbusters and Power Rangers. I'm not sure what to expect from the Power Rangers. Ghostbusters, I think there might be a new toy line involved with the new movie that's coming out next year. And I've also heard rumors of the original Kenner-inspired ones that were Walmart exclusive, possibly making more of those figures. So we'll have those news next week in weekly purchases. So there you go. That's the update from day 2 of Hasbro Con. And then finally, before we get into weekly purchases, of course, we got Album of the Week. And what was I listening to this week? It was Judas Priest, Painkiller. 30th anniversary of this album. I can't believe it. It was also the 40th anniversary of Blizzard of Oz this week and 50th anniversary from the first Black Sabbath album. So a milestone week in heavy metal releases. But Painkiller, if somebody asked me, Kyle, what is heavy metal? A lot of people say, hey, he'd grab Motorhead or something. It's probably Painkiller by Judas Priest. One of the greatest, if not the greatest metal album of all time, in my opinion. I absolutely love Judas Priest. I love really early Judas Priest. There's very few things I don't enjoy from Judas Priest, but I tell you what, Painkiller, the first time I heard it, it blew my 11-year-old mind. I could not believe what I was hearing. An amazing album. If you have never heard it, I urge you to go out there, check out Judas Priest Painkiller. It will not disappoint you. So there it is. And then I got to mention, I got the shirt on today in tribute. Old Road Warrior Animal passed away. Hawk passed away a few years ago. Really sad time. You know, a lot of death lately. A lot of heavy metal artists and now wrestling guys. And people that affected my life through the years. I love the LOD ever since I was a little kid. You guys know my rules. I love face paint. I love big wrestlers. They check all the boxes. Survivor Series, teaming with the Texas Tornado, Ultimate Warrior. The greatest Survivor Series team of all time. So many great LOD memories over the years. So really sad to see Hawk and Animal gone. But, you know, we all got to go sometime. But there it is. Let's jump into the weekly purchases. Alright guys, let's get down to the weekly purchases, our favorite part of the show. And what came through the door this week, it was Jakks Ruthless Aggression Mania. It seems like we've had weeks on, weeks off, weeks on, weeks off with these. Well, this is another week where things piled up, came through, and a few grail items that I have been after for quite some time finally came up. I said I'm sick of it. I'm going to get these off my list one way or the other. An expensive week. Very expensive week on some of these. And let's just start it off. Let's start it off with some Jakks Ruthless Aggression. And this week, finally, checked off the list. Probably you guys know what this is. Let's turn it around. It's the Ashley and Melina 2-pack. Been after this one forever. I've talked about it many times on the show. Absolutely drives me insane. I can't believe how much money I had to pay for this 2-pack to just be a completist and get this off the list. Two characters, I really don't know if it's worth the money, but this is Ashley's only figure she's ever had. This was limited edition. I imagine at the time this wasn't the best of sellers. All those things together creates scarcity, creates value, creates rarity. You don't see this one come up a whole lot. Definitely not for a good price. But it's off the list. I got it done. It's probably one of the last heavy hitters in the Jakks Ruthless Aggression line I needed. So there it is. It's done. It was crazy. It's done. I got it. And then the yin to that yang. The other one, not quite as valuable, but up there pretty high. Does not come around very often. And I got these both together, so I was very happy to have this crossed off. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. Limited edition 2-pack. Both of these will be staying in the box. I just can't open these two. And something about these boxed ones I really like to keep displayed in the box. I don't know what it is. But that's what I'm going to do. But the Hardy Boys, Melina and Ashley, done. Got those completed. That Jakks lineup, it's getting to the end. I think the last boxed one I'm on the lookout. So if any of you guys got any leads out there, it's the 1 of 3,000 boxed Mick Foley. I am looking for that one. I believe that is the last boxed one I need to buy. I guess we'll go more hopefully next week in weekly's purchases. I got one of the other heavy hitters on the way. So a little Easter egg. Check back very soon. Speaking of Jakks Ruthless Aggression boxed, here's one I've had 3 times in my life. Might as well make it 4. Rob Van Dam. If you guys remember, this was a Best Buy exclusive back in the day. I might get another one of these for the loose set as well. Not a really expensive figure, just one I, just finally decided to pull the trigger on, I guess you would say. But there it is, RVD, the Best Buy exclusive RVD. Very happy to have that done. Might as well keep it with the Jakks Ruthless Aggression stuff, huh? We'll just keep going. How about this 2-pack? I already had the Edge, but I did not have the Vicky Guerrero. So now I got the Vicky. I'll figure out something to do with the Edge. Buying these Jakks figures, you got to be smart. Sometimes you're going to get doubles in them. You can get them cheaper with a double, or you're buying a lot for just a couple of guys. I got quite the stack of double Jakks Ruthless Aggression guys. I'll probably flip those and sell them, get some of my money back to buy more figures. You guys know how it goes. Maybe even use them as a giveaway or something. I don't know. We'll see what we do. But there's that 2-pack. Happy to have that done. How about a couple of loose ones? Now, I did buy a lot of stuff this week, just like I mentioned, and I got some doubles. I didn't think they were doubles at the time, but they're doubles. I got an RVD. I already had this one, so now I got another. This is always a good heavy hitter. Scott Steiner. I already had this one, though, so now I got another Scott Steiner. And then a really good Undertaker. I always loved this Undertaker figure with the white eyes. But I already had it, so now I got a double. So a few doubles this week. I guess that's kind of the way it goes from time to time. But I also got this Stone Cold. I got to research. I think this might be a Classic Superstars 2-pack Stone Cold. But I got it in the pack anyways. So Stone Cold's in the house. Got an Undertaker SummerSlam. This is one I've been missing from one of the SummerSlam pay-per-view lines. Undertaker, so got a few more. Let's see what else. We got another RVD. Gotta have another RVD. I believe this is the last RVD I needed, so I think I am done. I'll have to double check as I go through some stuff, but I think I'm done with RVD Ruthless Aggression. So another thing completed, I guess we'll say. Let's see, what else we got here? Here's one, a Goldberg. I was missing this Goldberg. Now I'm complete on all my Ruthless Aggression Goldbergs. There's a very similar one like this, but not this one. So there's Goldberg. He's done. Got another Batista. I got to double check. I might have already had this Batista. You guys know how it goes with Batista. There's 500,000 Batistas in the Ruthless Aggression lineup. Armando Estrada. I also had this one already. So I got another double of him. It's all right. He might be a good face in the crowd for the arena setup I'm working on building. More to come on that one down the line. Rhino. This is the early Ruthless Aggression, or Adrenaline 2-pack Rhino. There he is there. He's got the R3 head on him, but I needed that, so I'm done with the Rhino figures. How about Tory Wilson? Technically not a Ruthless Aggression, Tory Wilson, but came in the tag team or 2-pack Adrenaline with Billy Gunn, so I'm going to count it. Tory Wilson. And then I got to double check. I think I might have had this Booker T. I might not. I will double check, but there's Booker T. So a lot of loose Ruthless Aggressions through the door this week. I also picked up this Titantron, Jerry Lawler. Something about this figure I always liked. You know, you guys know I'm not a big Titantron guy, but I always liked this figure. I don't know if it's just the coat and the hat and the crown, all that. I don't know. Picked it up. Just one of those things. It was in the big lot. I'm going to buy it. There it is. And then, oh, one more. How about the Kurt Angle from, I think it was the Raw magazine cover series. Most of those were Titantron figures, except this Kurt Angle was a Ruthless Aggression. So very patriotic Kurt Angle, of course. There it is. And then I decided to start a new collection, kind of a new collection. Longtime viewers know my thoughts. I've done videos on these before. I have a total mint on card set, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do a loose set. So I just kind of, one of those things, there's a bunch up for auction, picked them up, and now I'm in it. So here it is. We'll just go one by one here. We got RVD. I should say these are the Jakks Classic Superstars LJN-inspired figures. So I got RVD. There he is. We got Triple H. We've got Rey Mysterio. We've got The Rock. We've got Matt Hardy. And we've got Mankind. Not the complete set. I already have Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I have a couple other ones. I got to double check, see what I'm missing. But I figure that's an easy subline I can pretty much knock out. I know I need John Cena, that other Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy. There's a few. Trish Stratus. But those display really good with the WCW OSFTM figures. That's kind of my plan. It looks like I have room for about 2 detolfs of my LJNs with maybe 1 shelf or 2 shelves left. I'm planning on putting those WCW OSFTMs and those in the bottom of that to kind of fill out those detolfs with like-minded figures, if you will. I don't know. That's my plan at least. So I decided to go down that hole. So I'll have to pick up a few of those extra ones I mentioned and a few other ones. This week I did pick up this Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. You can only imagine what that's for, I'm sure. Righting or wrong here on the channel, doing what needs to be done. And I picked up this fairly cheap off of eBay. Bret Hart, a double here. This would be the Best of Pay-Per-View series Bret Hart. Toys R Us exclusive back in the day. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn this into the Bret Hart we really wanted from that Bret Hart Goldberg 2-pack. T-shirt, see you later. And we're going to right that wrong, I guess we'll call it that way. I think this is the Bret. They should have used this head scan. He's got the jorts on, you know, the jean shorts Bret loved to wear. We got that. I'll probably put that steel plate underneath this later. I have to go dig that one out. Let's see if I can get it around his hair here. That's always the most difficult part. A little live customization for you guys here. Let's get Bret rolling here. This is the Bret we wanted in that 2-pack. And I understand they couldn't have put that Toronto Maple Leafs jersey in that pack because of licensing issues and stuff. But a white jersey with the blue piping on it would have worked just as well. But there you have it. Let's get him straight in here. There it is. The Bret Hart we wanted that we didn't get. But you can easily customize this yourself. There's a lot of sellers out there that are doing this hockey jersey right now. So go pick one up yourself. Get an extra loose one of this Bret. Find one that's cheap. There you go. A little easy at-home customization. Bret Hart, Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. That box is done. And how about one more? Now, I've talked about it before. I am not a fan of the WCW Toy Biz figures. But I did pick up this Dennis Rodman. Got Dennis Rodman this week. You know, I've always wanted a Dennis Rodman to fit with my NWO guys. I figured this would go okay. I'd stick that kind of in the back by himself. Maybe put an NWO shirt on him or something. Just an easy pickup. It was part of that big lot I bought. See you later, Dennis. Went with that. How about a Marvel Legends? A 2-pack, an older 2-pack I never got. I slept and slept. I didn't really want it a ton. I played the long game. I said, I'll wait till it goes on super cheap clearance. And you wait. It goes on clearance. Well, I think it's going to go cheaper. It's going to go cheaper. Sometimes that works out. When I think of, what was it, the Ghost Ant-Man 2-pack. I said, I'm not paying $50 for that 2-pack. I finally bought it for $8 at Target on final clearance. That's playing the long game to the end. But sometimes when you try to do that, you do get burned. It's happened before, and it happened to me with this one back in the day. It went on clearance. I said, it'll go cheaper, and then one day, boom, they're all gone. And that's what happened, and I finally righted that wrong. I got the Everett Ross, Eric Killmonger 2-pack, basically for the Everett Ross figure. I don't have that one. I already have a Killmonger. It's not really totally different, but happy to get this one off my list, my to-do list. So there you have it. All right, so next up is something we've talked about a few times on the channel, and I get a lot of questions still to this day about it, so I figured I'd talk today a little bit about the new DC line from McFarlane. So, as most of you guys know from my other videos, I am not a DC guy. I'm all in on the Marvel, and I don't know if that's just the sign of the times or what. My major gripes with the DC line is the start and stop. They've had so many changes over the years. The consistency just hasn't been where I'd want it to be. And at the end of the day, I'm much more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy. I think it just depends on your age, where you grew up, and the time. And I was in the 80s, 90s, and that was the time of the X-Men, the Spider-Man, at least in my area. That's what my friends, all of us were into, and DC was really fallen by the wayside. My biggest DC love ever was Super Friends as a kid, the cartoon. I had all the Super Friend figures. I had the Hall of Justice. I loved all that stuff. Mattel, who had the line prior to McFarlane, did release some of the Super Friends back in the day. I believe it was Green Lantern, Aquaman, Superman, and Batman, I think were the 4. I was hoping they were going to put, those guys out, get all the Flash, get all those guys reimagined of the childhood toys. I was all in for that. Never came to fruition. So just so many starts and stops with the DC line. And my inherent love of Marvel characters and the Marvel universe, I guess you would say. So I don't really dabble in DC. I'm not really planning on getting any DC figures. It's just not my thing. But McFarlane in 2020 grabbed the DC license. So they're putting stuff out like crazy. I mean, it seems almost every month I'm seeing new DC figures out there from McFarlane. I always look at it. I look at all the toys out there. I take a look. So far, my opinions from afar, way too many Batman figures in that line. And I guess Batman is probably the most popular. But it seems like there's every Batman under the sun, everything I've never heard of in my life. I have no clue who half these people are in this Batman universe. But every once in a while you get sprinkled in a Superman. And I saw a Soviet Superman coming out. I don't know anything about that. I think there's a movie out there maybe based on that. I don't know. But just a lot of weird characters, stuff I'm not into. But hey, if it's your thing, hey, go for it. It doesn't matter. It's just my opinion on it. But I would love to see more classic superheroes. I'd like to see a Hawkman and, all the guys I loved. And that's probably not what sells, so that's not why they're doing it. I don't know. But my other big gripe with the McFarlane figures are, I wish they would have made them in scale with the Marvel Legends, Star Wars, Power Rangers, wrestling. All 6-inch is the way to go for me. These are all 7-8-inch figures. Bigger is usually better, but then they just don't scale right. They don't look right together. That's just kind of one thing I noticed. And McFarlane, love him or hate him, he just changed the whole toy industry back in the day with the Spawn figures and the Image figures and stuff like that. Changed the industry forever. We owe a debt of gratitude to McFarlane, still to this day, for what he did to make all toys better, I would say. But he's very, hard-headed, I guess is the word. He's not going to shrink his scale. 7-inch scale is what he does, and that's where he's stayed, and he's not leaving that. And that's why it brings us to this. So I came across this. The worker at Walmart was putting this shipper out this week, was hanging it right there, right when I was in the store, and I said, wow, I've never seen these before. And you guys, you longtime viewers know, I am a sucker for face-painted figures and big figures. And I saw this Batman Earth 1. Batman Earth 1 is what he's called. Don't have a clue about this, but it's heavy, it's big, it's menacing. Look at that. Apparently Batman kind of merged with Doomsday. I don't know, it's some alternate universe line. I'm not a big alternate universe line in DC, Marvel. I don't care what it is. I want just one universe, but that's for another show. But this is apparently some other incarnation of Batman, and I love how heavy it is. It's big. It caught my eye, and I was shocked when I got to the register and noticed these were $15, $15 and some change. I don't know if that's an introductory price. They're trying to really put their stamp and get the sales up, because at the end of the day, we talk the toy business every once in a while. I don't care if we're selling bread, we're selling hammers, or whatever. You got to turn and burn product, and that's $15 seems very cheap for this. It feels like they're almost breaking even, but sometimes you got to do those things in the retail world. You got to almost break even just to get your spot on the shelf, to get trial. Look what it did for me. It got trial. I would normally not buy this, but I did. So there's probably some marketing things going on in there, which is a whole other story, and we've talked about it a few times on the channel. But very interesting to see where this line's going to go. You know, I've shown in some of my toy hunt videos, the one I posted yesterday. There was a Batman Who Laughs or something. Never seen that in my life, but apparently doesn't sell so hot. There was about 8 of them on the shelf. So I don't know where this McFarlane line will go. I probably won't buy a whole lot more. You know, if they throw something out there that really pikes my interest, I'll jump at it like this one did. But just thought we'd talk a little DC, because I know people ask me about it a lot. I've never really talked long form about it, but there you go. So we'll see. I'll unbox that guy, see what he does. I'm not even sure where I'm going to put him, but I'll find a spot. I always do. Here's one. We won't deep into it too much. I got a whole box of accessories. I bought, like I said, those Jakks figures and stuff, and I picked up a bunch of different accessories, old Jakks play sets. Some of you guys probably remember some of these. You know, the, what is this, like the locker room. There you go. Door, ramp. I mean, a million things in here. Tons of chairs, accessories, guardrails, tables, grocery cart, stands, the old newspaper rack. Got 2 of those. So all kinds of different stuff in this box. I haven't even went through it all and organized it. Like I said, I'm going to build that arena, I guess. My daughter, my youngest daughter, and I, we're going to build a wrestling figure arena. A bigger one, a better one, and we're going to use everything we can under the sun. Hopefully soon we'll get that knocked out. But got those this week. If you guys watched my figure hunting video, I found this week. 110 finally hit the market in my area, and there's that Liv Morgan. This was the must-have. That and the Mike Kanellis, which I got last week via Amazon. There's Liv Morgan. I really like the purple. I don't know my colors, apparently. Pink on this one. Great pink hair. Really not a whole lot different than her Elite, and that Elite is pricey. For I think some of you guys that didn't get her Elite will be very happy to get this one for $10. See you later, Liv. Good to join the collection. So there you go. Old buddy David C. Anderson, the loose cannon himself, figure hunter extraordinaire, and a man that's got weekly purchases that are starting to make me blush. Found the Power Ranger Black Ranger for me. You know, I've had Power Ranger anxiety before. I had that Yellow Ranger. That was a tough one. The Blue Ranger was surprisingly very easy. Red, white, green, I found those no problem. But this black just started hitting the market. We already had a black before, but this one's a little different. Doesn't have the shield. Picked up the Black Ranger. So there you go. I'm going to do a Power Ranger unboxing video probably next week. It's time. I got a bunch of the single-carded ones I haven't opened yet. A couple of the 2-packs. We'll do them all together. Get a couple of videos out there for you. We'll talk a little Power Rangers. And then we got a little Star Wars DJR3X. This was the one I'm missing from the Trading Galaxy's Edge Trading Outpost Target exclusive set. This is the one where I question my life and I say, what am I doing here? Why am I buying this set when I've really never heard of any of these characters? I believe he's at the Disney theme park down there, and some of these guys were. I don't know about these Star Wars. I don't know what to think. You know, they got these Christmas edition ones coming out. Star Wars is the one line where I ask myself, what am I doing here? I love the originals. I love the cool ones. But then I got to take a step back and say, you know, I gotta be smarter with my Star Wars buying. And this is one where I kind of question myself sometimes. So, anyways, have that set complete. I will do an unboxing of the whole set. I don't know what we'll talk about because I'm not familiar with a lot of the characters, but they look really cool. So there you go. You guys might be aware from the last couple of videos, I'm turning into a diorama guy. I'm starting to delve into my collection a little bit more and say, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily just sit on the shelf. I need a fancy background. I need something more. And I'm starting to get into like dioramas and things into my collection that can add stuff to the shelves. You know, you got a Marvel Legends, you got a bunch of guys standing there. Now there's a background behind them. So I'm delving more into that in my collection, dressing my collection up a little bit more. And you saw last few weeks, I've gotten a few little pieces here and there. I also got that G.I. Joe diorama. I got another Ninja G.I. Joe diorama that I'll build and have a video on shortly. But this week I got a few other things. So I got a street alley scene straight from Japan. A bunch of cutout things. I got to put them all together. But I'm not sure what I'll do with this or where I'm going to put it. But I figured it's generic enough. It could work for Marvel Legends. It could work for wrestling. It could work for, you know, basically anything I need it to. So Turtles, you name it. So I'm going to use that somewhere. More to come. And then that backdrop guy on Instagram does amazing work for Detolf. As you guys know, I have a bit of a Detolf collection. He does beautiful backgrounds for them. And I've seen pictures on him. Follow him on Instagram. He does awesome work. I was, you know, looking at the stuff, and I finally pulled the trigger on some things from him. And I said, boy, these look really good. Well, I got him in the mail, shipped amazingly. No way these things could have been damaged or anything. It was just amazing shipping, all the way from England, I might add. Beautiful packaging. But these came in, and they look better than expected. I was shocked how awesome these looked. I'm going to build a Turtles Detolf. I'm going to have a Ninja Turtle movie and cartoon Detolf. And that's what I got these for. So hopefully you guys can see it here, but there's the bottom. This basically goes behind the Detolf. A little hard to show on the camera here, but for, you know, the 4 shelves of the Detolf, you got the Turtles cartoon, you got the brick, very similar to the diorama that you can get from NECA, and then you got the sewer at the bottom. So amazing quality, thick board, store quality, very good, very beautiful graphics. I mean, this is the most professional thing I've seen in a long time, so I was very happy to get that. And then I got the movie one as well. Let me show you that. Very cool. The movie graphics on there on the top. As you can see, you got the staircases and then the sewer. For the same concept, one's more realistic, one is more cartoon. But very happy to get these. Like I said, follow that backdrop guy on Instagram. I definitely strongly recommend these things. I actually am working on a big plan with him, and we'll see what I get here in the future. So I wanted to show these 2 dioramas I got through the mail this week. That's it for the traditional stuff. You know, a middle-of-the-road week, but a very expensive week with some of those Jakks. But we've got one more. We talked about it in prior weekly purchases videos, and let's finish it off. It's time to talk Dollhouses. Okay, so a few weeks back, I bought a Fisher-Price dollhouse, as shown here. Nice, you know, dollhouse, $50, heck of a deal, all the toys inside of it, which I did give to my kids, so there was some use out of that. But I have plans to turn this into an X-Mansion for my collection. Some of you thought I was crazy. A lot of you thought I was crazy doing this. I thought I was crazy. My wife thought I was crazy. I said, what am I doing? Where am I going to find the room for this? As this was a gigantic house, as you can see the pictures of. But a little work, some questions out there from a few people that know what they're doing, helped me find the right paints and some other things. I looked online for some ideas. I never thought this was going to be some kind of a showroom quality, amazing, you know, piece that was going to change the world. I think I said in my videos out there, you know, my hope was it's like my Jeep Wagoneer. My 1987 Jeep Wagoneer, beautiful shape, no rust. I got it from California. But it looks, you know, you look 3 houses down, it looks like it's a showroom mint right off the, right out of the dealership. But if you get up close, you say, oh, there's a little rock chip here. There's a little tear in the wood grain there. Like any vehicle that's, you know, 40 years old almost. And that's what I thought with this one. Hey, there'll be some imperfections. I'm not a painter. I've never done anything like this. So that's where I was going with that. And my wife helped me out here big. You know, I did a lot of the prep work, the original stuff, but she really stepped it up with some of the fine details and her nice soft painting hand on some of the brick and stuff. But without further ado, let's, I was going to say unbox, but let's unveil my new X-Mansion Fisher-Price dollhouse. So it's definitely went through some changes, and you're going to see it right now. Oh, it's a heavy one. So look at it right here. Look at this bad boy. As you can see, there's the front. You guys saw the pictures of what it looked like previously. I mean, but look at this nice brown. We added the stone gray, little black wash here and there, some dry brushing to kind of accent the stone, brown trim, a little brickwork, some moss that we picked up at, I think it was Michael's we picked up, a little greenery to kind of add to it a little bit. And then also, as you guys know, it folds out here. Let me open it. You can see the sides. That's a big one. I don't know if I can even get it all in the camera frame, but it's a big, big house. As you guys can see, I'm totally covered here. But there it is. That is the front of the X Mansion. I'm standing up, moving around here. But it is big. But I thought it came out, you know, better than expected. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting it to hopefully be really good. But I think it totally looks better than I would have ever imagined I could have done, and my wife with her help, obviously. I think it was a very, very solid piece. We'll give it a little spin here, maybe. Maybe. Woo. Should probably close the doors before I spin it. I'll show you the inside. Ugh. Painted the inside with a little yellow and a little brown for the floors. You got the nice wood staircase. So there it is. It's a whole, this is going to be a whole diorama in my office. I'm not sure if I'll open it like this and have like figures in here and on the outside. But very, very cool. I was very pleased with the results. So I told you guys I would show you on a future weekly purchase what happened. Took us about a week and a half, you know, letting paint dry overnight, that kind of stuff that you have to do. But there it is. A lot of detail on this one. Hopefully the video does it justice. Sit down here, get back at it. But there it is. So that was a pretty cool project. Makes me kind of hungry for something else. What else can I do? As you guys know, I'm working on my playroom, my office. I'm redesigning pretty much all of it. Obviously, these metallic cases are going to stay. My classic Superstars room is going to stay. But my future walkthrough video of my collection is going to look totally different. There's going to be a lot of changes. Tons of new figures, obviously. A year of new figures. That's a lot of changes. And this will be the centerpiece of probably my office when all is said and done. So there you go. That's some of the stuff that's going on. And like I said, it's got me itchy to do more projects. What else could I build? Some diorama pieces would be nice on every single shelves. So I'm laying the groundwork, talking to some people, looking at some things to do. Maybe I get a lighthouse like Excalibur's lighthouse, you know, stuff like that. You know, a street scene. I don't know. Really, the sky is the limit. Your imagination will only take you so far, I guess. You can do whatever you want. It's my collection, my rules, just like you guys. So much more to come on that down the way. If anybody's got any great ideas, hey, shoot them my way. Drop them in the comments. So that's it for weekly purchases. A massive week with all the Hasbro stuff that was announced this week. Hopefully you liked going through that. We got tons more unboxings to come. I got so much stuff to unbox. I mean, I think I got enough for about 30 videos as of right now. We'll just have to figure out how to do all that. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. A lot of content, a lot of stuff you don't want to miss. Subscribe, put your notifications on, all that fun stuff like everybody tells you to do. Like the video, always like the video, share it with a friend, share it on your social media, let's get it out there, you know, and don't forget to comment. I always say I like to hear what you guys doing. What did you pick up this week? What are your thoughts on weekly purchases? What do you think about all these reveals we got this week? Definitely a lot of stuff talking in the comic books, the comments we can talk about. Don't forget to follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, at @the_Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. And remember, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.